Dazzle. They have played Ursa, well, we just saw Liquid playing that as well, but it's kind of a rare hero. That's not a hero you see every day. And they pick Bloodseeker. Those are their 4 crazy picks they had. And hi, my friend. And they lost with all of them. So maybe it's time for them to just stop with their crazy picks, pick something more traditional, and try and win. He matches my clothes.
Yeah, he goes well with you.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see what they do. And speaking of Zenith, let's introduce the team.
Hi, my name is Daryl and I'm Ice Ice Ice. I'm from Team Zenith and I'm from Singapore. I'm trying to become a full-time gamer / streamer.
My name is To Wai Hong and I'm from Team Zenith. My nickname in the game is XY and I'm from Singapore. For me, winning this international is not just about the prize pool. It's about the achievement of your effort, of what have you put in through these years to play at such a level.
Well, we try to prepare for the international by playing every single day if we can. It started out online the past month. We have been training with Orange every single day, and for the last week we tried to meet up more often to train together in a LAN setup. Well, during boot camp last week, there was a small argument, I guess, between me and X Freedom. I got pretty pissed off at him for giving up the game, and I wanted to hit him. So instead of hitting him, I did some stupid angle hop and punched the wall. I punched through a dry wall, and I injured my hand. That's about it. It's actually 4 days ago. Yeah, we are pretty cool now.
This international, if I'm able to win it, to me is a sense of achievement throughout the years that I've played Dota, as this is one of the most prestigious competitions in the world.
I like that there's a community support in this tournament, which means everyone plays a part.
I don't think we have any opponents that we don't have to face at any time, because if we want to be champion, we should be confident of beating anyone in this tournament.
Chochi Chai, Ice, Johor Bahru, Malaysia.
Nicholas Lim, Freedom, Singapore.
To Wai Hong, XY, Singapore.
Ng Wei Pong, NWP, Johor Bahru, Malaysia.
Daryl Cole, Ice Ice Ice, Singapore.
Team Zenith then, the 5 members that, yep, they need to be confident, they should be confident. They've got some great level of play individually. Ice Ice Ice, X Freedom, Ice Yamate and XY, and even just mentioning Ice Ice Ice, I believe he's in the grand finals of the solo championships.
Yes.
Take place later tonight.
Yep, and that's got to be a little bit of a confidence boost to know that you're in the finals.
Isn't this our trophy for it?
Yeah, this is actually the trophy, which is sat just above the Aegis of the Immortal. I believe it's a Divine
It is
Rapier.
Divine Rapier, yeah.
Yep. And the winner of the solo championship will be taking that home, and that will be closing us off today.
Unless someone ganks him and he has to drop it.
Yes. It's very possible, unless he's got an Aegis.
Yeah.
So we'd have to win both tournaments.
Exactly, so
really
you can actually
secure the 1v1 trophy as well.
That is much better.
Maybe that's his plan. But let's talk about Zenith. Let's talk about them on an individual basis again. You know, who stands out for you? But if you want to, what kind of play style have they brought to the tournament?
I mean, Ice 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 is clearly the strongest player on their team. Recently, he's rotated from the 3 position in the off lane into a more carry role. I saw him play Weaver. He went like 11-1, but still unable to carry them to victory. So sometimes I think that the other members drag them down, and if they can actually perform well, then I think they can take this home.
Is Ice 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 being dragged down? Malk, Bruno, is that?
I don't necessarily agree. Did you just call Ice 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 a better player than Yamate?
Yamate has fallen. He loves Razor, though. They love their Razor.
You know what? I'm going to break it down to you. This is actually thanks to LV, because he just gave me an insight right now. I think Zenith is going to lose this. I think Ice 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 is their best player, but he's wearing pants today.
Oh, yeah. Well,
he's wearing pants. They can't win. You know, Ice 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 says he plays the best when he's not wearing pants. Actually, last international, he played the game just wearing his boxers. It's not the case this time. Maybe he's saving his boxer strat for the 1v1 matchup.
I know, I was sitting in the booth nearest the Zenith booth and watching his very beautiful legs.
Oh. Yeah, I mean,
it was very hard for me to focus on the game.
Have they forced him to wear pants? Is this what the international is? We all become very professional now?
No. We're killing esports here. Come on.
Killing esports. No pants.
No pants, please.
All right then. Let's meet the opponents of Zenith. It is of course going to be Virtus Pro.
I'm Yaroslav Kuznetsov. My nick is NS. I'm playing in Virtus.pro. My hometown is Moscow, Russia. So many good teams here. To be honest, all 16 is really good ones, and Europe really now can be compared to China. I don't think it's going to be China domination like last year. I think now it's going to be really mixed top 8 with maybe half of Europe and half of China. And I really can't say who's going to win. Now I'm captain of Virtus.pro, but to be honest, I don't really like this role. I make this because I'm most experienced player in team, I think. But I try to do this role good. Try to do my best for team and for my fans and for myself. When Dota 2 come, all of these people just come to a new game and proceed playing and so on. Now it's biggest, one of the biggest community in the world, and I really enjoy it because I know how many people is watching Dota and how many people is watching us. I feel like how many people now watching me and my team, how many people want us to win or just show good game. It's really important and I really like it, and I really want to say thank you to everyone, our fan.
Sergey Revin, Arsart, Moscow, Russia.
Колесниченко Олег, Crazy, Kaliningrad, Russia. Певцаев Илья, Illidan Storm Rage, Moscow, Russia. Сергей Кузин, Кси, Одесса, Ukraine.
Kuznetsov Yaroslav, NS, Moscow, Russia.
Virtus.pro, how many people are watching them? Well, I can tell you they're going to have a lot of fans. Dota is very big over in Russia, Ukraine, and I'm sure they're all tuning in to root for these guys. C, NS, Crazy, Arsart, and Illidan. And Arsart is the veteran of the team. NS is the captain. He says he doesn't like the role. They've done so far okay. They haven't had any big wins over big teams yet, but today, in a best of one, anything can happen. They're a team that can play very well, an aggressive style, like aggressive tri-lanes. What do you guys expect from them?
I expect a lot of aggression, like you just said. They're probably the team to show the most aggression, the Russian playstyle. The reason NS is the captain, I figure, is because he's the most experienced player in all of Europe. He's the player that has been playing the longest. He's been playing longer than I have, longer than Fear has, longer than Light of Heaven has. NS has been around forever.
All right, well, we'll see if he's able to bring out a win here, because we're about ready to go into the game. So we're going to throw it over to the hall for the match. And of course, it's VP versus Zenith. Best of luck to both teams. Take it away, commentators.
Team Zenith versus Virtus.pro.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll welcome you back to Bandit Royale Hall, home of the Seattle Symphony, as we watch an elimination match between Zenith and Virtus.pro. Zenith, your Malaysian Singaporean team from
the Southeast Asia.
Thank you for filling in the blank. And of course, Virtus.pro from
turn to back. Eastern Europe.
Of course. The wacky duel. I'm Luminous, and here's alongside with me, LD Dota.
Yeah, to me, Virtus.pro and Zenith, two of the scarier teams in the tournament. If I'm IG, I'm watching this, I'm saying, well, I have no idea what these teams are going to do. IG, I don't think they have an easy win over either team. It's going to be a best-of-1 format. No matter who advances, to me, Virtus.pro, Zenith, these are two teams that could take anyone off in a single game. It's going to be tough for whoever IG has to, or for IG, whoever they have to face. But now the draft well underway. Let's dive into it. It was a first pick Visage from Zenith. Pretty standard bans here. In fact, the 4 most common bans. The reply from VP was a quick Chen, Queen of Pain. Now the Naga picked up by Zenith. Generally, we've seen a lot of support Naga, but Ice, he's been playing the one role for this team. probably the most talented Naga Siren player in the world to me. Fantastic micro skills. We could well see a farming Naga this game.
I think right now what speaks the most to me is a Tinker ban. Generally, you don't ban out this hero. I mean, Zenith, sure, they have great Tinker players in the world, but I think this hero ban is directly allowing them to do some crazy strat. We talked about it. This team, I think they are the most versatile team out of the 16 team competing right here. They could do your rat Dota, as you like to call it. Basically, you don't fight them. You just farm, dodge fights. Or you go the full 180 and go aggressive. And when their backs are against the wall, they love to pick Axe. I know James out there is expecting one. I'm expecting one. And when you ban Tinker, that's generally a good sign of an Axe coming.
Yeah, if they want to go for an Axe here, you want to get strong solos then, because when you run an Axe, generally, in fact, almost always, you aggressive tri-lane, you want to creep skip, take the tier 1 down fast. Chen's a good hero for that, and then you want really dominant 1v1 heroes that don't need any help. So they pick up a Queen of Pain, it leaves the option open for the Axe, but I mean, we're talking about an Axe. They could go a little bit more standard here. There's still a Weaver in the pool. Naga's pretty decent against Weaver if you have sentries, but not a whole lot of lockdown just yet. VP definitely have their options open. Weaver actually just getting banned out now, and it's on to VP for the pick. If they want to go Axe, they'll probably save it. There's no need to pick it up now.
Let's jump to the other side. Let's talk about Zenith. I think we could agree that they're probably, in terms of rating them by talent, one of the most talented team in the entire world. I mean, if these teams play like coordinated Dota, I think they're perhaps even better than Navi,
just
better
in
than Alliance. They are amazing.
I don't know if I'd say they're better, but with raw individual skill, there's not many teams that can best Zenith for sure. And I mean, maybe Orange, I'd say, is the one team from Southeast Asia that can match or even surpass them there, but they're extremely talented. Where they do struggle sometimes is the drafting and the execution in-game. And ultimately, Dota is a team game, not just an abstract measurement of your skill. So we'll have to see. Rubik picked up by VP, still could be the Axe strat if they want to go for it. Zenith so far, not really tipping their hand. I mean, to me, they're a team that's strongest with split push, with XY's Tinker, Ice is Naga. The Tinker is removed. We've seen quite a bit of Darkseer from XY as well in that off-lane role, something he could turn to again.
I think Darkseer will be a great pickup here. Just a good team fight hero. It complements Naga very well in terms of giving better team fight, but they want a gyro copter.
I actually like this a lot, because the next pick could very well be that Darkseer. Then you've got a great AoE combo. Vacuum into cooldown, and you have the Naga Siren Sleep to set it up as well. Lots of AoE damage, good crowd control from them, and to me that's more of what Zenith have. When they've won, it's generally with strategies like this. So we could very well see a gyro going mid for Yamate, safe lane Naga tri-lane, and then that would leave XY Darkseer. It is available. I'll be kind of surprised if they don't go for it here.
Yeah, there's a Clopper pick up here on Virtus Pro, so I think we're on point to see something very, very aggressive, something that dives. There's a Darkseer that we both predicted, so team fight is going to be insane. Naga Sleep, Vacuum, a little bit of TI2 nostalgia, and of course you have a call down to follow through. A ton of damage output from your flat cannon. Your Chen, your Queen of Pain, and your Rubik could be in a little bit of trouble.
If you're VP, you simply do not want to fight 5v5 unless you've got an item/level advantage. So an early mech, an early Hand of God, Queen of Pain having a level 2 ultimate before Zenith have theirs. If they have an item and level advantage, they can definitely take those fights. But with the way Zenith's team composition stands now, very good split pushing, strong laning stage, and great mid-game team fight. To me, Zenith a little bit more well-rounded, but a lot of it does come down to this last pick. VP banning out the puck. Doesn't seem like they're expecting a solo mid gyro, but I think we very well could see one.
So far, neither team has gone crazy mode on us just yet, but it very well could be. I mean,
I see what you did there, by the way.
Yeah. Virtus Pro, I mean, we talked about what they have picked up. Zenith in the past, sometimes they even run strategy where you don't even ban a single hero. It's like, you can pick whatever you want, and we still beat you. Now, obviously, they've been banning out hero right now, but Zenith, we'll see if they want to do like a Juggernaut off lane. They've been known to do that, but let's hold with their bated breath.
The Morphling ban, you know, it's funny because Fnatic has been running this masterfully for Era, and VP in the past they've had their tensions with Team Fnatic, but we've seen them here. Well, they'll ban out the Morphling on the side of Zenith, showing some respect towards VP's split push and just elusiveness. And if you look at Zenith right now, they actually don't have that much lockdown. There's no silences. There's only a Naga net, familiar stuns, and the homing missile, which isn't really a great lockdown spell. So I'm curious what this final pick from Zenith will be, but I feel like something like a Lina or Leshrac would be a great way to round it out.
Yeah, I think right now Zenith have heroes that are good at deflecting pressure. They will not fight too much in the laning stage. They're not going to be actively seeking for kills. What they want to do is make it safely to the mid-game stage where the big AoE team fight could take over, because it doesn't matter if you have, you know, a tower up, like with a Chen push or something like that, when you just get 4-man wiped and pushed the other way back.
Yeah, I've been talking a lot as though Naga Siren will be a farmer this game, but it is possible to run Visage and Naga as support. support. So if you do that, probably Gyro's the safe lane farmer, and then they do need a mid. VP, we'll have to see if they've anticipated that correctly from Zenith. But generally, it's been Ice 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 on the farming role the past couple of days.
I wonder if VP is actually considering an axe pick. It's a strategy that we've been kind of talking about on and off, but at the same time, very bad against Visage.
He's also really bad against Gyrocopter.
Very bad against Naga as well.
Yeah, because when you're creep skipping, you have no creep support, which means you tank the full Rocket Barrage. So I don't know if you can really go for it here, to be honest.
I'm not sure as well. But we'll see what Virtus Pro think, as they're actually down to about 25 seconds. They take about like a full minute so far.
I mean, you know the crowd's going to go wild if they do pick it. Do they have anything else creative that they could pull out of the back
they
pocket?
do support Zeus. They do Brewmother sometime, which is a hero that we haven't seen often. They do crazy stuff.
Anti-Mage. Well, you need a win. You turn to the Anti-Mage. It's a best of one, so why not? Are there any... There's not a lot of lockdown here on Zenith, and now Zenith with this final pick, do they need to pick up some more?
They do. There's not much knockdown so far, but what they got is actually a good Naga Siren Ensnare, one of the kind of the most amazing spell to deal with Anti-Mage. Your Darkseer Wall is actually not bad.
Do you think you go for a Shadow Demon here?
Shadow Demon will be good. It depends on whether they play Naga as a support or not. We don't know, so it's hard to say.
It's hard to say. Maybe Zenith haven't made that decision yet.
Invoker!
Here we go! Boy! Now Zenith has 3 Invoker players. They've got Yamate, Ice Ice Ice, and XY. Who's it gonna be? Ice 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 Exhort Invoker, XY, Wex Invoker. We're just gonna have to wait to see. And actually, we know it now. It's Ice 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 on his Invoker. Sunstrikes are a-coming.
This actually reminds me back in TI2. I think it was Ice 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 against Complexity, or the old Team Liquid, where he was sunstriking the hell out of.
The last time Ice 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 was seen playing Invoker, he was crushing North America's hopes and dreams.
Yes. Well,
he's playing VP here.
Well, maybe he's going to crush some Russian hearts tonight.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Illidan Stormrage onto the Anti-Mage. We'll introduce our teams now. Best of one. Loser goes home. Winner moves on to play IG later this evening. Arsart on the Rubik, formerly known as Mr. Arsart. He's downgraded, at least for this game. Illidan Stormrage. He'll be playing the Anti-Mage. Crazy on the Queen of Pain. KSI. I'm not even going to try that Bruno pronunciation. Kasi, handling the clockwork. That leaves NS on the Chen. And on the Radiant side, we have Team Zenith, X-Freedom, Half Pinoy. He's onto the Naga Siren. Yamate, or NWP, on the Gyrocopter, one of the most celebrated Southeast Asian Dota players of all time. Ice Ice Ice, your solo mid Invoker. Not sure if he's going to Exhort yet, but we're going to find out soon. Ice, support Visage, and then to the safe lane, they're putting XY, the Darkseer.
Very interesting lane coming out from Zenith here. I do believe this is support Naga. At the same time, she also has a poor man shield. Like, this is confusing.
Yeah, generally, we've actually seen this a lot from teams. They'll go for the support Naga. You get a poor man shield, and it basically makes Naga unkillable. She wants to be in the front lines to throw out the net, and with a poor man shield, you just don't take damage. I was talking to Extinct about it today, and he hates playing against support Naga, because that hero just doesn't die.
I mean, we kind of joked about this in the past, but I think this is one of the few times we see a carry player Yamate pulling X-Freedom a couple of tangles themselves. Like, what is going on right now?
That's teamwork. That's teamwork. And ultimately, if you look at this Zenith tri-lane, there is so much burst damage, especially if they go for the Sunstrike build. Ice Ice Ice, we has not skilled anything yet.
Oh, Exhort.
It's Exhort. No surprises there. Hellfire is going to rain down from the sky soon, Lumi. And they have great setup. The Naga net, the big one, if you're VP, you actually have no easy way to disengage, but what they're looking to do is actually dodge that tri-lane. Arsart heading down towards the bottom lane. They'll park KSI top. The Cogs might end up being his own death, but at least if you're losing a hero, it's just your clockwork, not your anti-mage.
I mean, it seems a little bit awkward to have an offensive anti-mage, but he's going to basically sit here and practically have free farm. At the same time, you have a Chen in the enemy jungle. That means Invokers should be very easily ganked on the mid lane. They're trying to set up something on crazy mid, but they really just don't have that lockdown aside from the Naga and Snare.
Yeah, they actually don't have any sentry ward, so they can't deward this. They're not going to be able to wrap around and pick them off right now. Early glyph used must have been nerves or a misclick by the Dire. Not the biggest deal. Zenith isn't really looking to push too early. NS on the offensive jungle. Early wildkin for him, and now trying to zone X-Freedom off of the lane. For the time being, 2 supports here for Zenith. Now, in the past, we've seen Chen as a great way to deal with Visage because his creeps don't really care about your soul assumption, and then he goes from the high ground, looking to slow them down. Grave Chill's up. They're trying to duke it out a bit. The Tornado's there. They're lifting X Freedom. Stunning Ice. Arsart muscling forward. Now X Freedom. He needs some help. Here it comes. Sunstrike's on the mark. And first blood is going to Zenith. NS down. Zenith with an early rotation. Catch them with their pants down.
He just goes back to the Naga Siren with a poor man's shield. He just does not care. And here we go. They could be making another play.
No net yet, so they can't go for that kill. But I mean, that's Ice 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 for you. Generally, when we've seen Exort Invoker, you like setup for it, but he doesn't need it there.
Yeah, well, we have not really seen Ice 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 miss too many Sunstrikes, and I don't think so far. He's 1 for 1 so far.
He's a sniper.
Yeah.
It's early. We'll have to see if he can keep it up. If you're Zenith, though, your anti-mage is getting good, or rather Virtus Pro. Illidan's getting great farm in the off lane. Until they actually get level 2 in X Freedom, there's no way to kill him. So they'll sack their anti-mage a bit, perhaps later on, but early on, he's going to have a good time. And here comes a wraparound from Arsart. Invoker maybe in trouble. No boots up yet. Arsart lifting him back, throwing him to the low ground. Beautiful toss. Maximum time wasted for Ice 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 trying to get back. He's low. He can't juke, and he goes down. And that was a smokeless gank. Fantastic early movement from VP.
X Freedom a little bit slow coming back to mid lane, but that lift was why they got the kill. Crazy now. Should have the lane advantage.
Yeah, generally your initial reaction is just throw him straight back. But when you throw him down here, he's got to run around and then back up the ramp. It takes longer, and it made the difference.
Yeah, Ice 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 still a level 2 at this point. In fact, they're going to go for a Sunstrike kill. That's going to miss.
They need level 2 on X Freedom. I mean, he got the first kill, but VP, maybe they haven't played too much against Exort Invoker lately because, hell, it hasn't been played at all, but you quickly will readjust. It's like riding a bicycle. You'll remember how to do it real fast. And VP, this is where they just need to start juking and jiving at force Zenith to use lockdown to land those Sunstrikes.
Well, perhaps we might see a kill attempt on the bot lane. C has been rotating in, but here comes a Grave Chill. We do see Darkstar gaining on him. Here comes the Surge. There's a Grave Chill. No cogs. Oh, he trapped him in. And now C in huge trouble. A couple more hits going to do it. And there's a Soul Assumption. That's going to be a free kill. There goes Sunstrike for the kill ensure, but it was not even necessary.
Yeah, Ice Ice Ice, he could use that gold to be sure, but hey, they'll get it nonetheless. And Zenith off to a decent start here, 2-1. Anti-Mage farming well. Now they've rotated Illidan back to the top lane, and it looks like Zenith will go with the offensive tri-lane. VP, though, with an early stack, getting some good levels and support. And NS is the X factor here. If he gets the right creeps, then Zenith's ability to dive and be aggressive will be severely hampered.
At the same time, though, Naga Siren has set level 2. You talked about the importance of having that ensnare, just even as a setup spell for the Sunstrike. So I really think that Ice needs a little bit of mana right now, and they could go for yet another pickoff.
Again, Zenith not starting with Sentry Wards, to me, it really limits their options here. They can't deward the camp, they can't stop the VP pulls, and on top of that, if they want to go ganking, it's going to be spotted out. There's no smoke up yet for them, so VP pretty much know what's coming their way. There shouldn't be any surprises.
Well, the Sunstrikes are definitely surprises.
Yeah,
those you cannot ward against.
Yeah, those you can't ward against. Ice Ice Ice, I mean, we've talked a lot about the Sunstrikes, but if you look at the lane, and this is one of the main reasons we don't see Invoker anymore, his laning stage just isn't as strong nowadays, especially if you go Exort build. It makes Shadow Strike harassment very obnoxious. Already, Crazy's doing a magnificent job of dominating the lane. 23-9, Ice Ice Ice, 11-2. And the reason Invoker's weaker in the lane is, well, his base damage is just pretty awful, even going Exort.
Yeah, he does have a little bit of extra regen thanks to the Quas regen, so this hero's quite difficult, or quite complex, to say the least, if this is the first time you're watching professional Dota. So do expect Ice 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 to make huge plays and go through possibly 10 spells on him.
Yeah, there's a lot of spells to work through. He's not going to be using them all early, but later on, if it goes late enough, we could be in for a treat. Illidan's farming, though. The Queen of Pain for Crazy farming very well. To me, despite the flashy start that Zenith have had, I actually think it's VP are in the comfort zone here. Clockwork in the offlane, getting some experience. He's already level 5, in fact. I mean, if I'm VP, I'm actually pretty happy with this game right now.
Yeah, and Ice 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 should basically check on C's level anytime he can, because once this guy hits level 6, I think a gank to the mid lane is basically warranted. Ice Ice Ice, he doesn't have his Wex yet, so he does not have access into Ghostwalk, and if he gets ganked, he's an easy kill.
Yeah, Ghostwalk did get buffed recently. I believe it is a little bit cheaper in terms of the mana cost, but for the time being, Ice 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 not choosing to invoke it or use it, sitting back on the high ground, no ganks really since the early game. It's gotten a bit quiet for Zenith. They're not shutting down Illidan's farm that much. They are getting good farm on their Gyrocopter. And even if Zenith do lose the laning stage, right now it seems slightly in VP's favor, you have to remember that in the mid game, they have a massive team fight combination. You can't count them out.
I mean, we're talking about sleep, vacuum, into call down into the big meatball meteor strike. So it's just a ton of damage output. Also, I'm wondering exactly what is Ice is going for in terms of skill or item build. Are we going to see Yule Scepter? Are we going to see Hand of Midas? Or maybe a Dendi Blink Dagger, for example? There's just a ton of options, and we'll see what he does.
Hold that thought. Top lane, there's a net on Illidan. No Sunstrike yet.
Oh, there's
Here
a
it
Sunstrike.
comes. Oh, just off the mark.
He would have got that kill. It was pure damage output, so it doesn't matter if there's a single level spell shield.
Yeah, VP, meanwhile, though, they might have the more successful gank. Ice, he's got to stay back here. Level 7 on Crazy. Could almost solo kill Ice. If he gets lifted, he is so dead. Arsart gets Cold Step under the tower. Now driven back low and dead. Ice fighting a kill. 1v2. Juking in the trees. Still alive. Standing strong. He's done it. This guy is so hard to kill.
Ice is just amazing. He saw the gank, immediate invoke into a Cold Snap, drop down to Rubik, and Rubik unfortunately tossed him even closer to himself.
He could go for a solo killer in Crazy if he's not careful.
Yeah.
Cold Snap. Oh, there is a blink available.
I'm not sure whether he has enough mana for these Cold Snap invoke into a Sunstrike for the kill.
Yeah, I believe he might be just a tiny bit short, but he's close. And, you know, in 90, I'd say like the 99% of players in that situation would try to run from Rubik, and then you're dead.
Yep.
You get lifted up, thrown back into the Centaur, but Ice, great presence of mind. Arsart was going to tank the tower, so he runs in and he Cold Snaps him, and then picks up the kill, and then lives, which was just an added bonus.
See, looking for a hook because he has a support Rubik looking for a gank.
He hasn't gone for max battery assault, though, which is the much better early game killing build. So even if they get a hook, I'm not sure they can kill XY. He's already pretty tanky.
Yeah, he definitely is. Doesn't have any magic stick charges or magic stick at all, but see, really, we'll see if he's going to harass him down with some rocket flare.
Still, the anti-mage farming actually not so well. Illidan driven off the lane, nearly died earlier. I thought he would be farming because he was earlier, but Zenith have done a nice job of recovering, catching up, and slowing down his farm. And on top of that, the Queen of Pain, I mean, that is the big sort of green light here for VP. Crazy having a fantastic start. 500 gold up on him, already his basics, and he can start to work towards that next big item.
Yeah, Illidan not farming well, I think that's a byproduct of the skill build that Yamate has gone for. He's gone for Max Rocket, which is not a standard item skill build that we see from a lot of gyrocopters. He's not going to kill the anti-mage with this Max Rocket, but he's going to just basically force him off the lane, and basically means Illidan's not going to get too much farm.
Meanwhile, Arsart and NS only level 3, starting to fall really far behind, and he's even got a Wildkin. He could be catching up, but instead, he's looking to force a gank bottom. This is one of the hardest heroes in the game to gank. This is a pretty low percentage gank, to be honest. And if you look at Zenith now, top lane, on to Illidan. Illidan gets blown up. Easy pickings and a tier 1 to fall. Zenith just having the more efficient movement here. Early on it was VP, but that one gank failing mid, and particularly NS's Chen. Generally, I mean, we've seen Chens are level 5 at 3.5 minutes.
I mean, we saw that level 8 Chen from LG in the other day, so... I mean, right now it kind of scares me for Virtus Pro, because we talk about Zenith as one of the smartest team. They're kind of the best team, but sometimes they're not gluing together. But this game, they're playing crisp. There's no mistakes so far. We see great individual play from Yamate. We see huge plays from Ice. I mean, when these guys are playing on their top form, and so far they have been, I'm not sure whether VP can handle them.
Yeah, they're a very hot and cold team. They're not at their best. They can beat the best, that's for sure. I mean, consistency is part of ranking the teams, and I don't think Zenith has it as of late, but we'll see if they can start to acquire consistency. You win this game, you move on to play IG in a best of 1, and Zenith, you go a month or two back, they were actually handling IG.
They were beating IG
easily.
Without bans, to say the least.
Yeah, they were just rolling over them. So if Zenith do go on to win this game, I wouldn't count them out, but here comes another rotation from Menez. Level 4 now, he's found something in the jungle. And truth be told, you can't. VP is the kind of lineup that well, here we go on to Yamate. Oh, well.
Great game.
Farming, I mean, this is pretty aggressive from him. You look at the vision for Zenith, and they don't see anything in the jungle. And there's a bunch of heroes off the map. NS just showed his face bottom. Even maybe looking to dive this. That would be pretty bold. Elgato taking a bit of damage will be okay. And Zenith, they'll start to push this mid lane.
Really smart play here, sending your Torch Spirit, draw away the creep wave, and make sure that your siege units, your creeps are doing a little bit of damage. Ice, if you look at him, he's going for a Hand of Midas. And the reason that you go Hand of Midas on a Exhort Invoker is you want to get all of your levels as soon as possible. And of course, you get a ton of levels when you're using each activation of Midas.
Yeah, even though Hand of Midas is most well known for what its name says, which is giving you gold, it's actually more useful generally for the levels. And Invoker is one of, if not the most level dependent heroes in the game, that's certainly up there. So getting the early Hand of Midas is fantastic pickup for him. Often, if the Invoker has a bad start, I'll skip it. But hey, Ice, admirable recovery after an early, slightly slow start. He's in good shape now. And I really like how Zenith have moved the lanes around. Now XY's at the top lane, level 8, nearly a mech completed, and he's not the kind of easy kill that Yamate is. So they'll give their most survivable hero the most dangerous lane. Really smart movements from Zenith.
Yeah, the Hand of Midas also has an added benefit against Chen, which I don't think he'll wait on using the activation, but you know, if the activation is there, you will use it.
Yeah, you can use it to kill a Chen creep, you get the gold, you get the experience, and you also weaken the Chen's army. Here comes Zenith though, grouped up on the bottom lane, Reign of Basilius online, as well as drums for Yamate. It's activated and they're pushing. They'll back off now, but Zenith are just doing a nice job. It's a great split push lineup, and what makes it stronger is Sunstrike, because it gives them that extra burst. If anyone shows their head, gets netted, they're probably dead.
Even though Zenith is only leading by 2,000 to 3,000 gold right now, I feel like they're very far ahead
Dire's
because
middle tower
this
is
lineup,
under attack.
all they want to do is get past the laning stage. If they come off the laning stage even or ahead, they're happy because their team fight in the mid game is just marvelous. Of course, fall down, sleep, you know, that kind of stuff is going to destroy Virtus Pro. What have they done? Virtus Pro's got strength crits on our anti-mage, but that's pretty much it. There's nothing like a Battle Fury. And in fact, he's being harassed. I mean, he's